I'm David Sandstrom, Vice President and Financial Advisor at Landaas Company.
Dave, investors tend to put money in different sorts of accounts over the years. There are IRAs and brokerage accounts. When it comes to retirement and time to take money out of those accounts, how do they know which accounts to take money from?
Joel, it's an excellent question, and it's something that I spend a lot of time with clients on. And while there's no one-size-fits-all answer, I think it's really important to have a good plan, because making mistakes in this area can be very expensive.
So let's talk about some of the more common accounts and the considerations that investors should make. Let's start with the individual retirement account, or the IRA.
So Joel, the traditional IRA is money that we're allowed to invest prior to paying taxes on it. It gives us that ability to start with a larger amount and let that grow through our working years to retirement. We are restricted to leaving it in there till we're 59 and a half. And then, of course, the government's going to come along at age 70 and a half and require that we start those distributions. And those distributions then are going to be taxed as regular income.
What about Roth IRAs?
Roth IRAs is money that we're going to pay taxes on first, then invest the money into that retirement account. And now we're allowed for that money to grow tax-free for the rest of our lives. And then we're going to be restricted on the access of that money until we're 59 and a half. All those distributions are tax-free, and there are no required minimum distributions at age 70 and a half.
So the traditional and the Roth IRA are tax-advantaged accounts. What about taxable accounts like brokerage accounts?
So in a taxable account, it's money that we pay taxes on first, invested into the account, and then we pay taxes along the way. It might be on interest, dividends, long-term capital gains over time. The advantage to that is, A, there's very flexible. You don't have a minimum age to access that money. There are no RMDs, or required minimum distributions, that come along. And the overall tax amount could be less than what your ordinary income tax rates are. So there could be some real advantages there.
So once we know about the basics of those sorts of accounts where we're putting our retirement money, how do we decide when to take money out of which one?
So this is where the planning comes into play, Joel, and I would highly recommend that you enlist the help of a tax professional when you're looking at this strategy. A common goal is to reduce the amount of income taxes we're paying in a given year. To do that, it could require a combination of distributions from each of those accounts.
And what about investors who don't plan to spend all of their retirement money?
So that's a good point, Joel. You could have an entirely different plan if your idea is not necessarily to minimize your tax exposure, but maybe to look ahead to the next generation and minimize the taxes that they're going to pay on that money. Because as these accounts pass through your estate, they all have different tax treatments, and something that should be paid attention to.
So if I'm not ready for retirement, how does all of this affect me as far as my plans for investing?
Joel, there's an opportunity, if you have it, to invest in some different accounts. So, fill up that 401k, contribute to Roth when you're eligible, and the money you have beyond that, get into a taxable account. It's nice to have that flexibility to create some of these strategies in retirement. Look at the pros and the cons of each type of account before you do that. And again, I would enlist the help of a tax professional to help you get a proper plan in place.